Hey everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here. I'm in Las Vegas, the all-new Rio Las Vegas. And I got Patrick Miller, president and CEO of this great property, who's just finished up phase one of a total transformation of this property. And Patrick, you know, this place was iconic when it opened up in the 90s. And at some point, with every casino resort in Las Vegas, they've got to either get blown up or reinvent it.
Exactly.
And now you're reinventing this. And you've done this before. Which is great. Patrick, I interviewed him a number of years ago when he helped with the transition for a major Las Vegas resort. You did an amazing job with that. And I already told you this off camera, I couldn't have thought a better guy to do this particular job. So before we get into it, we show off the whole place.
Oh, I love it.
You know, tell me a little bit about what made you want to come on board and take on this problem.
Well, obviously, I love challenges, but from my past, it is, thank you for the compliment. And welcome to the rink. I love that, you know, it is.
Dude, I was coming back here in the late 90s for that all-you-can-eat seafood buffet and watching the dancers come down from the ceiling and all that kind of stuff.
It really did define it. Well, first of all, Las Vegas is that city. You're right about it. Always redefines itself. You're always looking for what's going to be next, what's going to be new. And Rio was something that was special. You walked all suites. It was all suites. It was, you know, you think about, we're almost coming up on 35 years from when it opened up.
And this opened before Venetian.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
So this is the original.
It was a sister in the sense of age. So when you think about Mirage, when Mirage opened up in '89, this was just a few months after that. This is January of 1990.
Oh, you kidding me? It was that early?
It was that early.
It was a couple years later.
No, it was Mirage was 89, and Rio was.
The original developers were in it early.
So, but yeah, so
flash forward 30 plus years later.
30 plus years, we're here, and we're bringing that back. So here's the story of the Rio. So as you said, 35 years. In market, and really started as like the really original locals hangout spot. It became the cool place to be at, where even the Vegas visitor wanted to be here.
Right.
And the original family that owned it, great family in town, the Marnell family, that built a lot of the properties that we see on the strip. They said, okay, we can make a beautiful property that is fun for locals, fun for that, and eventually turned into even a group business property. We've got 250,000 square feet of group space in the back.
250,000. I knew it was huge. I didn't realize you have that.
All first floor. It's amazing. So this property really lives in multiple areas between being fun and accessible for the locals, still free parking, which is great.
I appreciate that. So, although I arrived in a cab.
It's okay. A lot of great restaurants, which we did, and I'll talk about our new company that came in and really bought it the last year, came on board, and then still group business that loves it and being a little bit off strip, but still close enough to be able to access it.
It really is, and that's the whole thing with this location. 30 years ago, people had been like, "Oh, that's too far," but it's so convenient to go back and forth, and the strip is so long. It's actually easier for me to get from here to certain places on the strip than strip to strip.
No question. It is funny how the side streets of getting around Las Vegas, and especially how Vegas has grown. Now we're a sports town now. You think about Allegiant Stadium. It's much easier to get here to Allegiant than if you're anywhere center strip.
All right, so you sold me on that one. It's over there. All right, before we start doing a tour, I'm going to run a quick video as we're talking right now of the outside of the building. Oh, an incredible light show that you did. And like for me, all roads lead back to the band Fish. And the guy who designed your lights out there, you probably know this, Chris Kuroda, who is called CK5, the fifth member of Fish because of his lighting shows, which are the best in the business. When I heard that he did this, it was so cool.
So here's what's great about Chris. So it's actually an art installation. If you haven't seen it, so Rio is always really cool. It's this glass steel structure.
Yeah.
And the building is beautiful with the blue and the red glass, but the edge lit of the LEDs, he actually designed it where it's basically a full year of a different show. So it truly is a show. It's an art installation. And in each transition, you'll never see the same show. Hold it for 1 year, and then it kind of cycles through. It's pretty amazing.
That is amazing. I was blown away by what they did for 4 nights at Sphere.
Yeah.
To have a year's worth of content.
It's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat. Great. All right, so why don't you walk us through it? Tell us about, so why did Dreamscape decide to take this property over? It's a huge risk.
It is, and I should start as we do the tour walk around. Let's talk about the cowboy hat there.
Oh yeah, all right. NFR.
So we're doing this podcast right in the middle of what is an exciting time for Las Vegas. We truly are a cowboy town, but we become really a cowboy town here. Rio's one of the main sponsors for NFR. We've got Roper and Wrangler here, Country Christmas. So as we do our tour around, you'll see a lot of Western lifestyle. That's
true, including a whole area where they removed the slot machines and put up a live live stage for music and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's great. So we're good. So as we do that, sure, keep that in mind. But so Dreamscape, our parent company here, we took this over from Caesars about a year ago. So it owned it right,
But you bought it like a year before.
bought it in 2019, right before that opened. So you had to do
Like on to figure out a plan.
yeah, and I wasn't here then because obviously at my former role, I came in May of this year. So we'd done it. They had some transition, got a chance to come in and really start. What immediately Dreamscape came in and goes, right, okay, we've got to redo some rooms. We've got to spend some money. Typical of a building that was maybe on the lower portfolio of these massive companies, our prior owner.
Yeah.
It's Dreamscape's gem, and their true property that they want to focus on.
And
So
I say this next thing with respect to Caesars, but they really let the property go. And that is because, you guys know this, in the hotel business, you don't do renovations before selling it. So that was kind of in the plan over there. It gives the new owners an opportunity to do whatever they want.
It's certainly right. So a lot of work to do here. So starting with those great rooms you mentioned. So you have our main towers, 1,500 rooms. Our other rooms are another 1,000. 1,500 rooms, all suites, all redone, beautiful. And then started with restaurants. So we did a canteen that we'll walk by over here a little bit. All American turned into Luckily, which is a really fun kind of casual steakhouse, upscale bar atmosphere. Our center bar right behind us here is Luckily, just really good space that goes, okay, what's the heartbeat of a casino and a resort like this? Make it fun and energetic. So that's what we'll
That's awesome, man. Hey, listen, everything changed, but thank goodness you still have Penn and Teller.
We do, yeah. So still 4 showrooms. So Penn and Teller, we've got Wild Theater, which is great. We've got Comedy Cellar, and we got the Chippendales. But we love our shows.
That's amazing.
That was great.
All right, so let's go
Let's do a walk. I love it. That sounds good. So we're walking here. Which way I want to go? Let's go back towards. Let's go back towards and see what we're doing at NFR and kind of show us.
All right, and I'm gonna turn the camera and we can see what's going down the hallway here. So as you can see here, all the casino's been completely redone.
Completely redone. So new games, obviously, we're a casino. You got to have the right games. So we went out, made sure we had the right energy and the right games on the casino floor. And so it's been really fun. All new carpet, all new chairs and slots. So it is vibrant and energetic. I think key to the property itself is lighting. It was kind of a dimly lit casino before. So how do you make it fun and energetic and show the energy of what Rio was always
right? Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay,
so I want to show our Players Club here. I'm glad we went this way first. So
yeah,
all right,
Rio Rewards. Go on you.
Yeah, so Rio Rewards is it. Again, the heart and soul of a casino is you got to have the right loyalty program.
Right.
We took Rio Rewards and just made sure it was amplified. So disconnecting from Caesars, we wanted to have the most impactful and lucrative for the customer rewards program. So, and it's been great. So
We're awesome, but it's also a challenge for you, Patrick, because you start from zero. And that's really hard. So how do you create that groundswell of excitement?
And that's what you do. You basically tell guests this is the place to be, and you sell it. You give them a club that goes, hey, you're going to reward faster. Sure, basically 8 times. Slot customers love getting their free play, and they get no sense. So our Frio play, same thing. Is earned. We earn about 8 times the strip average.
Wow.
So they're earning way faster to get that there. We weren't guessed that we're a local spot. We want to make sure they love
I was just about to say that. I'd done an interview with another local spot down the road. Same type of philosophy, because you want to keep the people happy, you want to keep them playing, and you want to keep them spending money in your F&B out.
Well, people know the Rio, but they hadn't been here. The prior owners. They didn't encourage that group to come here. Again, they treated it kind of as their lower portfolio property. Well, it's our flagship property. And so we want to make sure we got the right club, the right amenities for them, and having the right club is part of it.
Awesome. All right, let's go for a little bit more of a walk over here.
That sounds good.
I'm going to miss such great energy.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Yeah. And it's just so much better, because the last time we did an interview, I didn't have video, and we were at a conference room.
I remember that conference room, and it was here, but this is good. Video is way better to do that. Yeah. So we're gonna walk in, and so we're gonna go a little backwards. We aren't here just because it's NFR and going in right now. So tonight's the first night of NFR. We've taken Masquerade Village, which you mentioned before. Yeah. It was a huge space that had Carnival in the Sky and a buffet back here and everything. We've kind of cleared this out and made it a true event space.
Also, it's probably a good thing for insurance, and I wasn't going to get hit by beads.
So those are fun to give away. Still give those away sometime. Yeah. But basically, we took the Masquerade Village and about just you can go let's like around here.
Talking. Look at that.
You see the what our Rio Roundup space. We partnered with again Wrangler and Roper, two of the major retailers, and well, we did a pop-up bar called Distillery, which is a great bar out of Arizona, and basically made this whole area come alive. And so we took space that we haven't, this is part of phase 2. We're going to walk back and do a lot of the phase 1 that you mentioned, our capital, but just to make some space happen until we get phase 2 started.
Well, I will tell you that I love that you got this all set up for this. I love the live stage that you have there. You know, I'm a big fan of live music. Why am I? It was going a little weird, guys. Sorry, not you. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible cameraman, guys.
Las Vegas is about live music. I'm glad you mentioned it. We've done live music every night here at the Rio. We'll walk back. I'll show you our main Lapa lounge that we're standing behind. I think people learned from the Strip where you got to pay to get in everywhere and do that. It became very cumbersome.
Right.
And we had to remove that. We made it accessible and easy to act. And where you walk in, it's fun. So right when you walk into the Rio every night, live music.
Well, one of the things that I find really frustrating is that there seems to be a lot of nickel and diming going on. And as a customer, I just want to have a clean experience and just be left alone to spend my money. So I like that particular attitude. All right, what do we got to see next?
Let's go. So here's a couple of things. We're going to walk right to the main. I don't want to tell because I think a lot of your listeners remember some of the things that were important about the. We kept our wine cellar. We're not going to go down there now, but don't forget this space is still here. A lot of fun things to do, but the wine cellar still exists back there. We're doing wine tastings. They do a really fun job down there of making it special. So a lot of these things about Rio remain.
That's awesome.
Up above us right here where we're at, Voodoo Steak still is there.
It is up.
Yeah,
that's
so
the top, right?
It's literally the best view of Las Vegas. So we maybe get some coverage of that. Let's see if we continue our.
All right, let's go. All right, this is pretty impressive. This is a huge space, and it's not done right. It could feel empty and cavernous. So have you thought about that phase 2 of
We have. I think phase 2, Rio sits on 90 acres. All right, so it is a massive campus. And so as we look at that, we have about 25 acres that is not occupied.
No, you have room for an arena.
We have room for things.
Sorry, I'm not going to ask him questions of that, but I've been hearing stories.
I think the notion is we've got to plan something that's right there, and our company is working diligently to make sure that we've got the right amenity, not just for Rio, but what's right for Las Vegas. It's a lot of space. You're Strip adjacent. You're literally right next to the back corner of the Mirage and Caesars right there, which are, Mirage is going to come out with a new property with the Seminoles and what they're doing. So
yeah, it's pretty exciting to see what they're doing over there.
I think everything you do in Las Vegas should be accretive for the whole city and what you do. So
right.
We're actively working to make something important happen there, and we hope it does. And I think based on that, that's why that phase 2 there is how do you connect and what happens in our Masquerade Village.
All right, needs to be thought about. All right, so when you're thinking about these sorts of things, how do you do stuff that's accretive, but also different and unique and helps define you as a location so people think Rio first?
So you opened up the conversation about there's always something new and exciting in Vegas. I think that's what makes us great. This high level of competition in the Valley always is like, how do you do it better? And what do you do different that? And I think as I said when I came up, I've worked in the large companies where it's tough to get through things, and you maybe have a system in that.
Work for some of the largest.
They're large. The largest. I love my time with MGM Resorts, but the notion of being entrepreneurial, think about different things and how do you want to try things. I think that's where you get advantages of what we're going through. All right, I want to show. Let's go. I do want to show the convention space. We talked about this, so walk there. We got a little bit of a walk, but let's show it. And again, we've got Country Christmas, but. I think that's Christmas. That's your Christmas. You're going to see it.
Lady Boy is going to love it.
You're going to love it. Yeah. Long Island. There's cowboys in Long Island, right?
There are cowboys in Long Island. I actually live in a neighborhood that allows horses.
Oh, I love
horses. Although I'm not a country western kind of guy, the hippie jam band guy. I do love horses, and I love being here and getting to see the atmosphere of the rodeo.
And I think the Vegas is a dynamic city, and you talked about the jam bands and Fish coming in, and I didn't get to see the Fish show. I got to see the Dead & Co show.
Yeah, it was great. They just announced more shows.
Yeah, there's more shows coming their way. I think Vegas is still this entertainment city, and it was kind of it's an everything city. It's what it was family related, then it was show related, and then it was residency related, and big entertainment, and then it's sports. And I don't think we've moved. I just think we've become more. and grown the pie of what Vegas is, which makes it, to your point about what's new and different, is how do you, what does the consumer want to do, and how do you make it fun and energetic for
Stop you right here because I got to say hello to our friends over at Hash House A Go Go.
I love it.
I love this place. Hey, Jim Reeves, we haven't spoken in a while, but I love Hash House A Go Go.
Hash House, we love it too. It's basically breakfast and lunch here for us here at the Rio.
Yeah.
One of our top restaurants, so busy. We're actually going through, we got a refresh plan for this. So this has not been done, but in January, after the Cowboys all leave, we start New Year's Eve, we start a refresh in this area and redo the Hash House.
That's pretty cool. What I really love about Hash House A Go Go is everything's fresh. They don't have anything in freezers except the ice cream.
You're right.
And really makes a big difference.
That's good.
What's your favorite? Get some chicken and waffles.
I love that's good. They're married. Said bring her out too with the Hash House. They're great. So we're walking back towards our convention space, and I talked about it, went over there. It really drives when you think about Las Vegas. I know your listeners are well aware of the industry. You think about how important groups are to Las Vegas, and Vegas is always busy on the weekends. There's stuff going on.
Yeah.
How are you busy on the midweek? We're going to stop here and talk.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell about Penn and Teller. Let me show their sign. So for those of you who don't know, I've been a big Penn and Teller fan since the 80s, even before their first seminal appearance on Saturday Night Live. And they are the right types of characters for this particular city. You know, Penn is just such a great personality and really does such a fun show between those two guys.
I got a chance to meet them when I came over. I'd never met them before. What amazing individuals. And so here's the exciting part about them. They're going to celebrate 50 years together.
It's insane.
50 years together.
I think not like started like juggling on the streets.
Very few marriages.
Yeah, right.
And so you think about two gentlemen that are really doing amazing things year over year in what they do. So it's great. So they film, we love them here. They film their Fool Us Now show.
Oh, that's cool.
In the summer, they come in and kind of take some downtime and do all their shows for Fool Us Now. They have they've got a neat part about the show. I did not know this. And I see you're a fan. They bring new stuff in every show.
That's amazing.
Their new show, like you think doing their close to celebrating 25 years here at Rio, longest running show in Las Vegas.
Unbelievable.
Straight running show.
Yep.
They bring in new acts every show. They go, hey, we want to try this. And sometimes they bring something back they haven't tried before, something that they did years ago. And so you never see the same show. And I think in a world where somebody's like, hey, you could program it and still be good, they're developing themselves. And I think that's a key to their longevity. I don't know if it's key to their longevity, but it may be go. That's the only way I think.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's where I have. So while we're walking over the conference center, you said you have the other shows there. So
so we got Wow. So we love Wow. We're right by that when we went through the Pablo Masquerade there. So we love Wow. Wow is, I think it's, it feels very Cirque du Soleil atmosphere. It's this circus component. It's fun. It's whimsical. It's a little bit of a variety component of that with great artists and acrobatics in that regard. It's got this, I call it the Wheel of Death, where I think this guy's never going to make it around there. So really fun night. And it's in the round.
That was actually the original name for this podcast.
It's Wheel of Death. I love. So the funny thing about that, they're in the theater that Prince played. Right, it's really neat. So that even some of the seats are still, there's some purple around there. So it's kind of a neat spot because there's some history there. And a guy like
that's where Prince played?
Prince played there. That was where the residence was.
If you don't remember, it was like 15 years ago or so, give or take. He had a residence here, and he would occasionally start shows in time.
Yeah, occasionally. So it's good. So they're there, and then we have Comedy Cellar as well. So we're excited to have Comedy Cellar there. They're bringing in New York because obviously they're home base with us, and they great comedians coming in every night. So we love them there too. Then we got Chippendales. Chippendales is moving on. They're going to go. They just announced just the last week. They're going to move on towards Venetian.
Okay,
which is
good for them.
Good for them and good for us. We had a great thing. And so
how do you think about bringing in another performance, and what angle do you go with?
So this speaks to your point about what is Vegas looking for? What's new? What's not in market? Obviously, there's several male review shows out there. How you look for what's new out there, and so that's more to come on that. on what we're doing there, but we got a game plan for a new program there that isn't really seen in Las Vegas there, but a lot of fun.
Well, if you want to start a show of males not to review, call me.
Okay.
I could be your star.
Good. So we're gonna walk. I kind of we stopped by Penn and Teller. We're just gonna pick in here and then walk through what is great about our convention space. And I said, and I was talking about really when you think about the Sunday through Thursday business in Las Vegas, and weekends are usually always busy. How do you stay busy when you're talking about the midweek,
Right.
and you do things like this? So we're gonna look in here. This is a group.
I've seen this for the World Series of Poker back there.
So Country Christmas. This is
I'm gonna show this. I love.
This is one of our ballrooms right now. Again, we have 220,000 square feet of space. This is a 50,000 square foot ballroom right now. Integrated stage and sound thing, easy load in. So just the scale of what you can do at Vegas. And again, this is dedicated for Western lifestyle retailers. But the notion that could be, 2 weeks ago, it was Hitachi was in. Right. 3 weeks ago, it's another group. So it just, you continually move, and that ability to be dynamic in Las Vegas and load in and do a dinner for a couple thousand people in here.
What's it like trying to sell a product that's in the middle of reinvention?
Yeah, it's first of all, I give hats off to the sales teams literally that go and have to describe and have the right renderings.
You say hats off to them, but yet you're still here with the hat on.
Good fun.
Yeah, no, for my really bad.
But you've got to find people and you got to walk them through. I spend a lot of time myself walking with people and letting them know, hey, here's what it's going to look like. Here's some photos of things we have done, what's in development, and again, be open and honest and transparent. What isn't going to be ready while they're here, when their groups are, because sometimes you have construction. We walk by when we're walking in there. Yeah. Construction walls still exist everywhere, but that's, again, Vegas is always redeveloping itself. Every property probably has some construction wall, putting a new restaurant in, redesigning a outlet.
That's seriously. I just came from a resort where I said the last 2 nights that's putting in 2 new restaurants. That
why we're here at the Rio?
I'm tonight.
Okay.
Don't worry, man. The reason why I stayed somewhere else is I was at a speaking gig in town, and the person who asked me to do it or put me up at her hotel.
Great. Well, yeah. Well, good. Well, super. We love it. So anyway, so this is, again, one part of it, even in our lot out there. So we've got out in our lot, they did a horse corral. They're doing a roping competition out there. So that's really cool. You just do a lot of fun things. And again, next week it's, we get ready for a new group coming in next week after these guys leave.
You almost got to be schizophrenic in these things, because one week it's cowboys and next week it's something completely different. And you've got to do everything for change the music and, to redress the entire property.
It is. And that's the fun of working in these environments. It never gets old and it's fun. It's actually really fun. And they all kind of mesh together, and you bring in, all right, Chinese New Year and Super Bowl, sometimes all around the same time. And that's 2 different groups of demographics that come together. And it makes it for a great weekend in Las Vegas.
All right. So while we're walking to the next area, how do you keep yourself emotionally engaged and physically fit to do what has got to be an insanely demanding job, 12, 15 hours a day?
I think the emotional side is you got to surround yourself with a great team that, people that all believe in what you're doing and how you're going to get it done, and being clear with that group that, hey, we're in this together, because no one person runs a property, and it does take everyone, and it takes the ballet team and some of the people we saw walking around. I mean, they're everyone's vested in making sure that guest experience is right. And what we're doing is it's not easy. It is. I say this. It's not complicated, but it's not easy. It's easy to recognize someone and spend time with them and be hospitable and make sure they're having a great time. That's what we do. The basics of all of these buildings is making sure people are enjoying their time, and they may be here for a cowboy Christmas, or they may be here just to have a great breakfast at Hash House. Yep. And those elements and our team members work hard together. And I think that's what drives me and keeps me ready to go every day, is I'm surrounded by, in this case, on this property, 1,000 other individuals that are focused on that.
Speaking of those 1,000 other individuals, I'm sure you've hired some new people since you came up here, but you inherited a legacy stake that may have worked for a different company. It's a tough gig to kind of come in and hit that reset button and gain that trust and get those people to get behind you. So how is your philosophy of doing that?
Yeah, I think my fundamentals of, You have to focus on your team member and then your guest, and then all the cash flow and the financials will work on that. If you have the right people taking care of the guests, that's the simple cycle, our service profit chain of how do you make things happen. Now, there's details in everything you do. Do you have the right offerings? Are you managing cost of goods? And all those things are part of the business. But I think any business has that. I think the hospitality service profit chain is really important. And so I think making sure every team member understands that. And we've been fortunate. We've got a great team. They did a lot of heavy lifting. When they unplugged from Caesars and had to come back in, it was not easy.
Well, it must have been a crazy day.
Yeah, there's 30 new systems.
Yeah.
And so you think about just the IT component of trying to unplug and plug back in and operate and not miss a beat.
Yeah.
And you have people checking in. They don't. They ask, I don't care who owns the property. I just care. I want to make sure I have fun. It's a great set. So you can still,
I'm gonna show that.
I love it. You still say that. So I kind of walk. So we're back to the center of the casino. What I love about this is we're doing some edge lighting. We basically, if you remember the old Rio, there was these nautiluses that lived upside down that brought the ceiling height to about 14 feet. We blew those out and basically elevated the ceiling. And this one's in the process of doing the rope light. We'll go to the next side over here, and it basically opens back up.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can see the
come here. I do a sidebar. This is our chief gaming officer.
Hey, this is John.
This is
Thank you. I'm Glenn.
Good. How are you? Kevin's our chief gaming officer, and he is in charge of the whole casino. So just a random walk.
Yeah.
Hey, on the podcast.
Kevin, yeah, I do a podcast called No Vacancy, and what's it like being chief gaming officer? What a cool gig, and what are people getting behind right now?
It's exciting to be here. The rejuvenation of the property.
Right.
So when you say what are they getting behind, I mean we've totally revamped the entire casino floor. So kind of on the spot here. I was going to be doing an interview, but all the new games, the relaying out of the table section. I mean just rejuvenation of this property. It's really what it needed. We focus on both locals and non-locals. We got a really killer loyalty program. That's what I'm probably most proud of, is getting people into the loyalty program and the benefits of that.
So that's awesome. And I care that you have Frankenstein over there. It's a lot.
Pretty of a slot floor up against anybody's. We really pride ourselves in making sure we have the latest and greatest games and something for everybody to play, whether you're a video poker player or you want the latest licensed product, Frankenstein or whatever that might be. We definitely have it.
All right, I know we blindsided you here, but what is the secret sauce to placing everything on the floor to make it more appealing to people?
A casino floor is a living, breathing organism. It's never done. It's never finished. I mean, there's different thoughts of you put your A+ games and bad locations. Think about casino floor as a monopoly board. We are Boardwalk and Park Place. We got Baltic and Mediterranean, and it's all about just trying to maximize the square footage and put things where people will walk by, they'll see it, and hope they'll put a $20 bill in a machine and have a little fun.
Excellent. I love that. Awesome conversation. Great spot. Thank you. See, that's it. So you get a great chance to see some of my team. I love that happened. That was not planned.
No, it was not planned. So I love moments like that.
Yeah. So Kevin's a superstar. You asked about my team. Why that drives me. I'm surrounded by people like that everywhere.
Yeah.
And it makes, when you have subject matter experts in their area. We had worked together many years ago back at MGM Resorts. He got a chance to do other things with Cosmopolitan, and I'm fortunate to work with them now. So I got a whole team like that.
That's great.
We're gonna stop in at our Lapa bar right now. So that. This is kind of the heartbeat of the casino right now. It's obviously, we're in the morning, so Lapa's not open for a couple more hours. But
yeah, just so everybody knows, it's like 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so it's good. We got monkeys hanging from the ceiling. So really fun, beautiful bar. Again, I say the heartbeat. This is where we do live music every night coming in. And again, it's right near the elevators, right off the entry, right off of check-in. I think what's exciting about Rio, even though it feels like a big property, very navigable. Look, I'm front desk to my rooms, to the sports book and everything coming in. We're gonna walk through luckily. So here's a good shot of the ceiling over here if you want to get this. This gives a great look of now the lighting.
It feels very high end, these fixtures.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely elevated from where it was. I want to be clear. We've got a lot of high-end stuff on this property. We're still approaching.
Well, you're not looking for the luxury.
No, that's not your. There's a lot of people in that space and a lot of big database. They love where we live.
Patrick, there's too many people chasing that top dollar, and I don't think there's enough to go around. I've been saying we need more of a, high-end, mid-scale type of resort that's fully approachable to people, and they're going to spend their money. It's just not being satisfied right now in the market.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Luckily now. So Luckily is what I said. It's a casual steakhouse, maybe upscale bar is a great way to look at it. So Luckily we open with a partner, Perfect Bite, that's done some other things around town. But again, really approachable menu where you're not doing a $70 fillet. You got a $39 fillet. So it's reasonable. And yeah, you had a lot of fun, but
Reasonable, and as people continue to feel a little bit more pressed financially, these are the types of things that are going to make them want to come again and again, as opposed to being one and done.
Yeah, agreed. So great front bar area here. It really comes alive. You got a little bit of the music coming in here, and they play a mix. If you can see the albums on the wall, there's a mix. I see the Ramones, I see Police, I see the Clash, Nirvana.
Yep.
You got just, and it's kind of a little bit node to the soundtrack we play. Hits from all those eras.
That's cool. Yeah, Pink Floyd is playing in the background.
Pink Floyd in the background.
I just saw David Gilmour a couple weeks ago. That was cool. When I should say it, all you looking out there, go see him when you can. He's great.
So again, Trump bar, and then a back kind of a dining room. People want a little more formal, but not too formal.
Yeah.
Mindset, but kind of the exhibition kitchen here where they're watching the steaks being grilled over open fire.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful room. Yeah, we're designed again. And this is kind of indicative, a little upstairs private PDR, so private dining room for folks if they want to get away from even a little bit more of the noise and energy.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Beautiful. This is a really, really nice space. That it's the flow through from here to the casino floor is really nice. And they're different, yet they've got the same kind of similar vibe.
We leave Pink Floyd, we're back to the end here at the casino, and I love it. So we'll walk through the canteen, kind of a mindset of, you mentioned the buffet, and coming out here, the Rio is known for two big buffets, the Carnival buffet and then the seafood buffet. It is, it's kind of a thing of the past. There's very few properties that have a buffet. It's an interesting business model. The consumer kind of changed, and the operation itself changed. It's hard to operate a profitable buffet, but also the consumer is not wanting that smorgasbord of food that is really
And sometimes the price point for buffets have gotten very expensive, and you might as well do what you've done here, have an upscale food court concept, that food hall concept that really allows people to make those choices, don't feel compelled to overeat, and spend the right amount of money.
And get what they want. I think the family, and I remember at my last property where Italy and this is there, you come with a group of people and not everybody wants the same thing anyway. So it's kind of nice to have that, and you get the setup here. So we opened up.
Just so they know, it's not open yet because it's for 11, but let's take a look at it.
So Canteen opened up here with 6 outlets, and the ability, this is the former location of the Carnival Buffet. This is about a quarter of that space, so very small. The ability to expand and grow over time is exciting for us. But Tony Luke's out of Philadelphia. I think that there's always that competition where he goes Geno's or Pat's. The true Philly folks know it's Tony Luke's.
I am not a true Philly folk, but my wife is from there, and yeah.
Did you agree? I love it. Tony Luke's is great. The Broccoli Rob pork is my favorite. We got Master Fu, is an awesome ramen guy. He took his top ramen recipes and did 5 ramen recipes for us here.
Awesome.
Attaboy Burger's a homegrown burger. They got a Texas toast double cheeseburger that I think rivals. It's close to my favorite In-N-Out. That's right there.
So I love the sushi bar.
Yeah, so sushi in the center. It's all hand roll sushi. So they do cut rolls too, but it's quick hand roll. They make it as you eat the one hand roll, then they'll make your next one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so really good. Burrito spot in the back, and then chicken fingers. So also about fun spot.
So a little something to everything. You're giving from what I'm seeing there is you're mixing some traditional favorites with things that are more in the food and beverage zeitgeist right now, such as the ramen and the sushi.
I mean, they're still comfort foods, but they're fun. I mean, we took a chicken tenders are not going to go away.
No.
But we partnered with Chris Bearish, who does Black Tap. So they're easy desserts. They have this chicken finger concept is my favorite. The grilled is, if you ask me about my health, I try and eat the grilled chicken tenders and not that.
I'm actually still working off that Black Tap milkshake.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, but their chicken fingers are fantastic. So a lot of fun there.
Awesome.
That's good. So you let me know what else you want to show, and I mean that's a quick tour. Done quick talking.
This is great. I like the walking. So, are you feeling like you're where you want to be, and do you find that you got to be a little bit more patient sometimes with getting all these things done?
I think the runway There's a lot of things to do at Rio. I mentioned the 90 acres. The first phase of our property handled 1,500 rooms. We still have 1,000 to redo. We've got that whole Masquerade Village. There's a long runway here. So I think that, you're by no means running in a sprint, but you are running fast still. And the notion of getting things done and moving is part of the projects. As you said it there, you're opening up a new club. There's a lot of startup mentality here.
Yeah.
So you get to try things and do things a little different. And I think that's exciting, but it's also, there's some patience there. You got to do things strategically and do it right. You don't want to mess up. You want to find things that your consumer wants and build things the right thing. Inevitably, people make mistakes in market, but how do you react?
I don't know if it's necessarily mistakes as much as that the people want to use and experience a property in an unanticipated way. And I really think that they tell you what really needs to be done in the final. I've never been to a resort that's been redeveloped or just opened that then hasn't had to go and do a bunch of other stuff once the customers told them what to do.
You're absolutely right. As long as you're listening to the consumer, they always tell you what to do. They're going to tell you, and something's either not going to work or work because of that.
I mean, like Encore completely changed a lot of its food and beverage like 2 years in, so it's not unusual for a lot of change.
Done the old property I was at, we had redone everything and then realized the carpet wasn't right. It sounds crazy to not get the carpet right, but we didn't get the carpet right.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't mention, I think it's important to know, is about 2 weeks ago, we actually did our press announcement. We've been working with Hyatt. And so we have not talked about Hyatt. We officially became a destination by Hyatt. Hyatt is not really in the Vegas market. They got 2 of their smaller properties that are kind of Hyatt House and Hyatt Place that are really just kind of off strip. But they are a major hotelier worldwide. We're excited to be partners with them. They pushed our elevation. You talked about where do you want to live. I think Hyatt is one of these properties that go, okay, are you Hyatt ready? And did we, what does it mean to be a destination ready? We've been sharing the points and their globalist and elite members have been able to come and use their points here.
That's fantastic.
Which is good. But now we're officially a destination by Hyatt. They have a full review to make sure, hey, is your property up to Hyatt snuff, so to speak? Yeah, we're very pleased. We passed with flying colors. They're super excited to have be related to a resort in Las Vegas, and so we're excited.
Absolutely. Big shout out to everybody at Hyatt. I'm a big fan of what Mark Oplamazian has been doing over the last 10 plus years. Very quietly, there's a lot of CEOs there that are like in your face. He's just making deals, collecting amazing brands, and has put together a phenomenal portfolio that finally here in the United States, I think is really resonating with the consumers because they were so much more known, overseas with their high-end properties and stuff like that. Right.
I got to meet Mark a while ago and talk with him, and I meet with a lot of his senior team. They're a fantastic organization, and they're focused on how do you do things better for the guest? How do you make sure you're providing it's not about being the same. It's about having something that's truly something that is guest focused. And I think that's the right approach.
So what was the reason to go with Hyatt particularly as opposed to all those other guys out there?
I think part of it is, you talked about being a startup. You want to partner with an individual that maybe wants a foothold we're a major market.
Yeah.
And so that ability to work, find someone that wasn't here, that wanted to be here, and that we knew we wanted to have you need to grow and become somebody. It's tough to do it all by yourself.
It sure is. And I will tell you, it's really interesting. A little history lesson for everybody here. Major companies used to be here. I mean, there was a Las Vegas Hilton. Then for some reason, all the hotel companies said, hey, we're out of here. We don't want to do this. It was in the mid-90s that all this kind of happened. In the last few years, it's like, wait a minute. Why aren't we over here? And we've seen all the major companies, particularly in the last year or two, make deals to get back on the...
we all know the gaming, non-gaming swap happened many years ago.
Right. What he's referring to is there's more money now being made off the casino floor than on the casino.
Yeah, and so that ability that these integrated resorts are massive. The scale of them is tremendous, and the fact that the revenue streams are more diverse than ever allow for, I think, other partners to come in and go, what do you do? Our partner Dreamscape was not a gaming company.
No.
But saw this element in our 90 acres as something that's important, that they loved. And our owner, Eric Birnbaum, is a fantastic visionary that goes, hey, I want to be there and I want to do things different, to your point. I'm glad he chose me to say, okay, I want you to be part of this. So I'm loving my role.
So before we wrap up, I want to tell everyone I will shoot a video in the room so you can see what those look like once I get up there. But I haven't yet. So what were you thinking about when putting together that room design? What was your...
Yeah, so it's definitely, there are nodes. We're not overly thematic. Yes, we are the Rio, but Rio is a city of entertainment, much like Las Vegas.
Right.
When you think about Rio, and if you've ever been there, it's energetic. It's almost a frenetic pace that Vegas has, and you can feel it. It's palpable, just like us. And so the room needed to be a respite from that because we got a lot of energy on the floor. You look at our carpet and the games behind us and everything. There's a lot going on in casinos. So as you go to the room, is it a little bit of a reprieve? And so you've got nodes of Brazilian accents, but it's much more subdued, much more residential. We have the third largest room in market. So it was built as an all-suite hotel. As you see your room, I don't know if you're in a regular room or a big room.
We'll find out.
But they're all big. They're all big. Even the regular room is just a fantastic. You've got a nice sitting space. You've got a pull-out couch. You've got a 65-inch TV, kind of a separate living space. Then you've got your bed, all redone there. No more, 1980s hotel tub. You've got a nice shower set up there. So it's really done to relax the guests and make sure they had a reprieve from like the energy that's down there. Let me just rest and be ready to go the next day.
Yeah. Speaking of resting, where do you get to take a deep breath?
I don't know if there's deep breaths ever. You just keep going through it. And so I love what we do. I'm surrounded by professionals that live the same thing. Is that there's an energy in Las Vegas. How do you keep doing what you need to do?
So why Las Vegas for you professionally?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised here.
Oh,
So I really born and raised in Las Vegas.
when Jimmy Kimmel,
I went away to school, but came back because I loved what this building was about. My first job was a pit clerk at the Mirage. So I was in the middle of the pit, and I loved my role. Really saw what we were a gaming company then, gaming position, and saw what it became, and saw that energy was here, and so it's fed off me, and what I did. No other family in the business, but I love it.
That's pretty awesome. Patrick, anything else you wanna?
No, I'm so glad. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Thanks for maybe just say come back and check us out at the Rio. We got a lot going on here. I'm around a lot, so I'd love to say hello over any of your listeners.
But sure, I will say the transformation here is nothing less than amazing. The last time I was here, before the keys were handed over, was a totally different experience. I could feel it. I love it. The energy here is great, and I feel much safer.
We are an iconic property. We talk about being an icon reborn. It's tough to say, but when in Vegas, a 35-year-old property is an icon, and we were reborn. It's a lot of fun. We're back to a little more of the fun. A lot of people have Rio stories of old. And hopefully you get some shots tonight up at Voodoo.
I will.
Come make a new story.
Yeah. Also, go check out RioLasVegas.com. That's Patrick Miller. I'm Glenn Hausman. I know if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you're going to do that now by texting the word hotel to 66866. Thanks so much. We'll see you